All right, welcome everyone. I'm Jason. I'm going to be the host tonight. I have Roy B. here with me, and I have a little treat for you before we get started, but we're going to wait a couple more minutes before we start till everyone gets here.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me.
Conversations with the Quantum Shamanist, Roy B. All right, Roy B., I think it's time for you to take it away. That was a really interesting segue, and it looks like we're definitely in for a real treat on this webinar. I, for one, am looking forward to hearing the answers to the questions that were posted, and we've been talking a lot about that. So let's hear about how you can help people through your quantum shamanist practice, and let's go ahead and start with the questions.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate the opportunity to demonstrate my art for you and for the folks that have chimed in. I am primarily a practitioner of many, many different methods, and the idea is that all roads effectively lead to Rome. All directions, all angles lead inwards. If you don't know where that is, I encourage everyone, actually before I get going, we're going to be doing some breathing exercises, some relaxation, and actually making it a workshop. So the idea is not just to kind of sit back and watch, but actively participate. So kind of like you're not an armchair quarterback, you're actually doing these things, and we'll do some breathing stuff. We'll do some visual imagery. So I want to go ahead and put in a disclaimer here. Big, giant, 10,000-foot pole. Do not operate heavy machinery. Do not be driving a car. This is being recorded. You can play this at another time. If you find that you're drifting off while you're operating a vehicle, stop. Pull over, wake yourself up a little bit, then get back in it. And another disclaimer is that I make no pretend in terms of medicine use. I'm actually not a proponent of medicine, but the point is that anything that you do as a result of these sharing these techniques with you is your own responsibility. If you have any issues or questions specifically as it relates to your ailments in a physical sense, I encourage you to continue your dialogue with your allopathic practitioner. Your allopathic practitioner is generally your doctor, the one who wears a white jacket when you go into their office and they probe you and stick you with stuff and tell you things that you probably are already feeling. So there, enough with that. So we got 3 primary questions. The first one was from Brett, and he asked just a very, very generic question. How can I learn to do this stuff? Well, that's where I was saying previously about all roads leading to Rome. Let's go ahead and just do a quick exercise right now. If everybody can close your eyes and kind of take a breath in, just kind of a deep breath in. Now, what I'd like for you to do as fast as you can, I would like for you to point, but I'll tell you where when I count to 3. So I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to point to something that I call out as fast as you can, and then freeze. Ready? 1, 2, close your eyes, and point to yourself. Go. Good. Freeze. Open your eyes, and look where you're pointing. Obviously, no cheating here. Generally speaking, most humans, or at least the apparent humans, will point to themselves. Now, themselves is not their brain. You pointed towards your chest, to the center of your area, the center of your chest area. This is where the answer lies. This is where you begin to learn this stuff. This is where the end is, where you master this stuff. You see, the shamans from way, way back when knew these different things. They knew that every answer to every question you ever had was within you. And different things and folks and collective groups came along, religions, governments, and try to separate that. And effectively, it's all you. And the first step to get to that, to you, is to kind of think about there's multiple facets of the human existence. We'll go into those a little bit later, but effectively, the way in is breathing. If anybody's ever taken any yoga technique, read about any yoga technique, the very first thing is breathing. So what we're going to do is actually do a breathing exercise. And before the screen comes up, just real quickly close your eyes for 5 or 10 seconds and observe the thoughts that are going through your mind. Close your eyes and just watch the thoughts roll across the screen of your mind. Get a pulse, get a feel, a lot, a little bit, just one thing, dwelling on something, scatterbrained. Okay, good. Now that we've got that kind of as a reference point, let's go ahead and do a breathing exercise. So breathing is really the key to everything. And that's how you get into your body. When you point it to yourself, the way in is through breath. See, we think we've been taught, we've been conditioned that our thoughts are what we are. I believe it was Rene Descartes that said something to the effect of, I think, therefore I am. He was wrong. You feel. You are, therefore you are. So the point is that get out of your head, get out of your mind. That is where the thinking and the stress, the frustration, it's all in your head. But when you reconnect to your body, and the way to reconnect to your body is through breathing, this is the doorway in. This is the pill. This is the pill you want to take. Okay, so you'll see on the left, there's 4 dots. That's an inhale. And the idea is that you want to inhale on a 4 count. We're going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're actually going to do it. So when I say on a 4 count, you're going to go, that's a 4 count. Now, the idea of the inhale is that you want to breathe in deeply through your nose. Most humans don't even know how to breathe properly. The proper way to breathe is to breathe in through your nose deeply, fill your belly up first, then finish with your lungs. So it's kind of like you're inhaling deeply through your nose, and you're filling your belly, and you're filling your upper chest, and actually feel the air. Pay attention and feel the air moving into your lungs. We're going to do that for a 4 count, and then we're going to hold our breath at the top of that inhale for a 4 count. Then we're going to exhale. Now, to exhale properly, you push the air out of your mouth, kind of like a dolphin or a whale surfacing. It's kind of you're pushing the air out of your mouth, kind of like you're blowing up a balloon. But then continue pushing it. Pushes every last bit of air out as much as you can until the end of another 4 count. Then at the bottom of that 4 count, you're going to hold your breath. You're going to hold your breath for 4, and then we're going to do that again. And we're going to do the whole right now, right here. We're going to do this together. I'll snap my finger or tap the table for a 4 count. So we're going to breathe in through our nose, fill our belly, fill our chest for a 4 count. We're going to hold at the top for a 4 count. We're going to exhale out of our mouth for the 4 count, and then we're going to hold our breath at the bottom of the breath for a 4 count. Okay, idea here now is to uncross your legs, uncross your arms. If you have the opportunity to take your shoes off, reconnect to the earth. Take off those rubber sole shoes that insulate you from the different energies that humans have been interacting with for eons. Take your shoes off and reconnect. Even if it's a wooden floor or a carpet floor or a concrete floor, get out of those rubber soled shoes. Put your feet flat on the ground. And if you can't, that's fine too. Okay, we're going to start breathing. At the count of 3, blow your air out. Okay, breathe in your nose for a 4 count. Ready, go. Hold it. Exhale out your mouth. Hold it. Inhale through your nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale out your mouth. Hold it at the bottom. Okay, that was 2. 2 more. Inhale in. Hold it at the top. Exhale out. Hold it at the bottom. Last one. Good one. Deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Exhale. Hold it at the bottom. Now breathe normal. Close your eyes and look in the screen of your mind. And you may have noticed something a little bit different now. You may have noticed that those thoughts have slowed down a little bit. You feel an awareness. While I'm speaking, that next breath of air that you take in as you're breathing regularly, just pay attention to the air moving in through your nose, filling your lungs. And then as the air moves out, pay attention to that air. Feel it leaving your body. There. That's the answer to the first question for you, Brett. That's how you can learn this stuff. What you can do by silencing your thoughts, it's you that controls your thoughts. See, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You are the awareness that is actually paying attention
to the air moving in. And what's really unique about the human brain is that it can only really do one thing at a time. And when you're shifting your awareness into your breathing alone, you shift your thinking. Don't believe me? Try to take a pulse of yourself, get a regular pulse, and then they say, the allopathic doctors say something like, oh, well, your heart rate is a function of the autonomous nervous system. It beats automatically. It's all controlled automatically by your body, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Want to bet? Take a deep breath and hold it. I guarantee you your heart rate will slow down. When you think about that beach and the wind blowing and your toes in the sand and the sound of the seagulls, and you put your mind there in that screen, see it. For all of you who aren't just visual, hear the waves crashing. Hear the seagulls beckoning in the distance. Listen to the sound of the little kadima, the little ball where they bounce it back and forth. Feel the warmth of the breeze. Smell the salt in the air. Taste it. Feel the stickiness of the humid air, salty air, wind blowing over your skin. Taste the salty air. You see, when we engage our five senses, the brain cannot distinguish that which we visually or we actually see and experience and that which we vividly imagine. Your brain cannot tell the difference. You may have noticed that your breathing slowed down a little bit while you were at that little beach journey. All we did was just put an image in our mind and engage our five senses. That's how you practice this stuff. We simplify, as Henry David Thoreau said. Simplify, simplify, simplify. What does that mean? How do you want to learn this stuff, Brett? Here's how you learn this stuff. Unplug your iPhone. Take the battery. I guess you can't take the battery out, can you? Lock it in the bathroom and go somewhere else. Turn off your TV. Take your shoes off and go walk in the grass somewhere, or the gravel, or in the woods, or just sit on your back porch next to a plant and watch it. And just be present. That's how you practice this stuff. That's how you get here. Okay, next question we have is from Michael. Thank you, Michael. Michael's question is, I am working with past life issues and I'm in the military now. I'm looking to get my Reiki certifications, but in the meantime, I want to get into healing modalities that don't affect my wallet. That's my favorite. That's my favorite one. I want to get into healing modalities that don't affect my wallet. Well, your words in the neurolinguistic programming world, your words are very, very important. And as I read your question again, and I hear you say, I'm working with past life issues, and I'm in the military now. I'm looking to get my Reiki certifications, but I want to, in the meantime, I want to get into healing modalities that don't affect my wallet. Okay, this get you already have. What you are seeking is not separate from you, Michael. Think about it like this. Let's say that you have to be somewhere in an hour. Say a wedding. And you're home, and you start to get ready, and you're like, I just want to, put a CD in the car
or something. You know, you'll go put something in the car and you realize that you don't have your car keys. So you say to yourself, okay, well, I'll kind of look for my car keys haphazardly while I'm, getting ready. I know they're up somewhere. They're somewhere. So you're walking around the house, and an hour now turns into 45 minutes. You have to leave. Still no keys. 40 minutes, 30 minutes, still no keys, and you find that you're starting to stress. You're looking now in different places because you still haven't found your keys. You're checking the drawer. Still no keys. You're checking your path that you walked before. You still no keys. Now it's 15 minutes to leave, and your heart rate is increasing. Your eyes are dilating. You're stressing out, and you're going, oh my gosh, I gotta find the keys. And now the search for the keys becomes more aggressive and desperate. You look in the back of that drawer that you never have opened in the past 4 months. You look in the inside of the tissue box to see if the keys have maybe dropped in there. You check the dog's, maybe the dog picked it up or something in the dog's pillow. And then now you're 8 minutes, then 5 minutes, and then eventually you just throw your arms up and you surrender, and you just go, ah, and you drop your arms down to your side, and and there they are in your pocket. Here's the moral. Michael, this is the answer for you. You will never get or find anything that is separate from you if you already have it. No matter where you would have looked, in the drawer, in the dog pillow, in the tissue box, the keys were never there. You had them. You already had them. And that's where I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to convey to you. You are already practicing Reiki, Michael. Oh, don't believe me? Okay. Anybody who's on? Has anybody that's, and be honest again, nobody's watching, right? or maybe. But the point is that let's say that you banged your knee. What was the first thing that you did? You put your hands on it. You rubbed it. I know we've all experienced the mom who watches the little child fall down and scrape their knee, and the mom runs over in her maternal, loving, nurturing way and says, rub it, kiss it, and we'll make it better. Folks, that's Reiki. Michael, you're already practicing it. Now, so this is what we're already doing as humans. We're already practicing these things. This is what I'm trying to say it's not separate from you. It's you. The Hopi Indians, and I've had the opportunity to travel through their country, specifically the Second Mesa region, and it is absolutely beautiful country there, and you absolutely feel a presence and feel a difference there. And the Hopi are related, by the way, for folks that are into information background. They are related to the Mayans in terms of the tribes. They have similar myths, belief structures, et cetera, which are absolutely fascinating, that we could obviously go into at a later time. Tonight's idea is just to kind of overview some stuff. But the Hopi have they have a prophecy. It's called the prophecy of the rock. And in that prophecy, it ends something like this: and we are the ones we've been waiting for. Ain't nobody gonna come and save you. It's not gonna be the police. It's not gonna be the doctor. It's not gonna be the electric company. It's not gonna be the fireman. It's you. You're the one that's going to save you. You're all you have. You are all you've ever had.
So my translation, my modern translation to "we are the ones that we've been waiting for" is, it's you! It's you! Every ailment you've ever had in your entire life, take a wild guess who healed it. You did. Every cut, every scrape, every cold, it was all you. Now, there's the other side of that coin. I didn't want to get too heavy into it too early, but it's showing up. Not only have you healed everything, every ailment. Now, granted, you may have had the aid of different chemical cocktails dispensed through the allopathic industry as medicine. You can go down to Rite Aid or whatever your local pharmacy is, and they're loaded with symptom relief. My favorite is NyQuil, right? The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, so you can rest medicine. At least they were honest about that. That's how you heal, is by rest. Your first step to rest is breathing. But the point I was trying to convey before is that not only have you healed yourself from all these different things, but you are also the one who drew the sickness to you. You see, the shamans from many, many thousands of years, 40, 50,000 years. So this is outdating the Bible kind of stuff by, depending on who you ask, upwards of 45 to 50,000 years predating the Bible. These folks knew some stuff. We're finding out more and more that these ancient civilizations, they weren't just some dummies, natives in a jungle somewhere. They were pretty impressive. They knew some stuff. And the shamans knew. And they continue to know. And they're releasing their information more and more. That all of the answers, it's us. It's us. We are the ones. So, there's that answer for you, Michael. Now, if you're really into Reiki, there is a book by Diane Stein, D-I-A-N-E, Stein. I don't know if we have a picture of that somewhere. We may or may not. I don't know if we can go into maybe Amazon or, yep, that's it right there. And that is the book, Essential Reiki, by, I guess he's got to pull it up.
Yeah.
That is everything you ever wanted to know about Reiki, but was afraid to ask. This is, it's called Essential Reiki. Hopefully it'll be coming up on your screen here shortly. It is a complete guide to an ancient healing art from soup to nuts. It's got the very, very beginning of Reiki. It's the Usui method. And that method is Japanese, obviously where it started. Some people claim actually that Jesus was actually the first Reiki master. He laid his hands on people, right? Actually kind of ties into that my laughing about the healing modalities that don't affect my wallet. I can just imagine, Jesus walking around going, "Sorry, can't help you. You don't have a credit card." Or I wonder if Jesus did Bitcoin. Oh, I digress. Anyway, so the point is that for the purchase of one book, everything you need to know about Reiki, the practice, that's it. Now, according to the traditional method, to become a Reiki practitioner, if you will, there are 3 levels, and we won't go into it too much. We'll just kind of skim it. But there are 3 levels. First is self-healing, and then there's others healing. There's remote healing, so somebody that's not physically there, that couldn't be there. And then, of course, there's the master level where you can attune others, and you gain this hand-me-down through a ceremony. Actually, the ceremony is very, very powerful. It's actually referenced in that book as well. And you'll notice there's a lot of different breathing movements, symbols. You're doing different types of symbols, which is very, very alchemy, if anybody is into alchemy. And anyway, so during that process, during that ceremony, the master Reiki practitioner will then attune you to levels 1, 2, etc. And then you kind of work it out, do your thing. If you're still into it, then they would attune you into a master Reiki if you were so inclined to continue that process. So here you have it, Michael. You're the lucky winner. You get that book, you do your homework, you do your research. We figure out some kind of way to hook up, to meet somewhere, and I will personally, as a Reiki master, attune you into Reiki so your wallet isn't affected, other than the purchase of a $10, $12 book from Amazon or wherever. Thank you for your question. And the third question we have is from Ken. Ken is an interesting fellow. He says, I can feel my energy and I can direct it throughout my body. However, I am self-taught, and I'm wondering if there are exercises that I can do to increase my skill level. Well, basically, the only exercise that you can do is to live in this world. So practice, practice, practice. So here's what I mean. The energy that you're feeling throughout your body is likely the generative force. This is the force, that awareness entity that was able to observe your breath. This is the energy that science is absolutely 100% affirmed as real, which is bullshit, by the way. Most of what I'm saying is based in science, and of course, science is a method. It is not an arbiter of truth. So what I'm trying to get to is discernment. Only you know what's real for you. I'm a big fan of Terence McKenna, and he has this kind of gig that says something to the effect of, what we have to do basically is to have the immediate presence of felt experience, the immediate presence of self-experience. When we were breathing in and we were paying attention to our air, our breathing, we were coming into now, feeling the air move through in. That's the immediate presence. And then we felt that experience. Breathing. Practice when you're breathing. If you're at a grocery store and you've got to be somewhere, and the person in front of you is counting their pennies or can't find their plastic card thing or checkbook or whatever to pay the attendant, and that's an opportunity for you to breathe. It's all a message. The idea is to pay attention. Are you paying attention? And that feeling that you're feeling throughout your body, Ken, is you waking up. you're returning to what you've always been. You're remembering. You're recognizing. Recognize. You're recollecting. Recollecting. Notice that I put the stress on the R-E, the re. Well, if you're going to re something, that means you've already got it. That's what's happening. And there are different types of these, different not types. I believe it's all the same energy. It's all the generative force. But the different schools, some will call it ki, some will call it prana, some will, the Kogis in South America, they call it aluna. And basically, that is what you are. So if I can use the example of, actually, as what you're seeing on the screen right now, you see this really cool fractal thing going on, which, by the way, is Metatron's cube with sacred geometry, which is powerful stuff. But basically, if you could imagine a snowflake, and I'm sure you've heard the thing of every person's unique, completely unique, just like a snowflake. Wrong, wrong, wrong again. Okay, the only thing that's different is the appearance. So I will give you this. Every snowflake appears to be different. However, every snowflake is the same thing. Water. Interesting, isn't it, when you look at it from that perspective? So even though you appear different from that person next to you, really what you are is just it's kind of like Avatar in a way, right? You're this energy thing, this being, this entity that's occupying this physical human instrument of your body. What we call the rent-a-wreck. And that is, it's going to pass. It's going to pass. And that 8-month-old you, that was you, is not here anymore physically, but the you that was there, the avatar, the energy that was you, still remains. We can all remember something of when we rode a bicycle for the first time, or we got an award, or we were at high school, we lettered, or whatever the thing was when you were anywhere between 10 and 18. Well, that physical being changes. Again, think of the infant. It's fundamentally different. But you remember these things. You can recall these different things. That's because you transcend the physical. See, the physical is stuck in the 5 senses. So I guess to close on Ken's question, and then we can kind of do a quick little overview and take some questions to the chat room or etc., is feel that energy. Continue to feel it. Right when you wake up in the morning, the Silva method, which is a hypnosis technique, self-hypnosis, basically his great ideas from the 60s or from the 70s, I think, and basically has a great idea. So if you want to practice with this stuff, great for anybody, but this question is directed towards Ken, but everybody can practice this. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, if you can, set your alarm clock for 10 minutes early. That's it, 10 minutes early. Set your alarm clock for 10 minutes early. Let your alarm clock go off. Go to the bathroom. Maybe have a sip of water. Go back to bed, but don't fall asleep. Just don't fall asleep. Imagine a screen in front of the screen of your mind, and notice what's different. And imagine something and look at it. See it, smell it, take yourself to the beach. You want to practice and you know how you can get these exercises, increase your skill level? Imagine yourself at the beach. You'll know that you're really, really good at it if you start to sweat. Okay, super, okay. This is bullshit, quantum shamanist Roy B. I don't believe you. Okay, don't believe me? Try this. Right now, eyes open, eyes closed, don't care. I'm going to prove to you that your brain cannot distinguish that which you vividly imagine, that's the key word, vividly imagine, and that which you physically experience. Close your eyes and imagine a big, bright lemon. I mean a big, juicy, bright lemon right in your face. Visualize it. See it. No, really see it. Look at the little bumps. Observe. Look at the bumps on it. Look at the end of it. Look at the little stem on the other end. Bring it up close to your face. Smell it. Okay, now in your mind, get a samurai sword, throw the lemon up in the air, and whoosh, cut it in half. Sweet, you're fast. Excellent. It's in our mind. Anything is possible. Okay, now we caught the lemon. We caught one of the lemons. The samurai sword is put away. The other half of the lemon is now on the floor. And now you're holding that half of that lemon cut side up. And you're looking at it. And I don't know if you look closely, you see that you cut a seed in half. That's kind of cool. But now squeeze the lemon a little bit so the moisture of the lemon kind of bulbs up. You can see the pulp bulbing at the top. Now smell that. Move that up to your face and smell it. Bright, citrusy. Better still, haha, stick your tongue out in your mind and lick the lemon. Okay, end of exercise. If you were vividly imagining it, your mouth is probably watering right now. Is your mouth watering, Jason?
It's watering.
Where's the lemon? Where is it? More practical thing is, this is what stress is. This is you playing the programs in your mind. What did I do wrong today? What do I've got to worry to do tomorrow? You're not present. You're either stuck in the future, you're worried about something that may or may not happen, and there's no control over anyways, or you may be playing memories of your mind, thinking about things in the past that can never be changed. So we're fluttering away our now by worrying about the future or being concerned with the past. Now is all you have. It's kind of corny and kind of touche, but that's why the here and now is a gift. It's a present. The present. Okay. Enough of the questions. So if we can jump to that screen with the circle of things, and I've obviously said a lot of things, and the idea was that if at least one of you had some kind of small shift, then all of this was worth it. But hopefully we've kind of teased you into just considering the possibility, that what you're seeking is not separate from you. That's what all the religions suggest in somehow, some way. It's all part of each other. We're all unity, consciousness, etc., etc. So Jason's going to pull up a slide here shortly that represents what the quantum shamanist is, a method of the healing modalities, etc. And if you have any questions, feel free to put those into the chat, and we'll pick those up. And I'll just kind of run over our slides here. So you'll see this torus, and the center is balanced awareness. At the top, you'll see Reiki. We talked a little bit about Reiki. Moving in a clockwise direction. There's a pendulum, which is basically divination. This is communicating with your subconscious through a pendulum. People can find things. I definitely employ this as a part of my practice, if you will, the method that I employ. EFT is a technique called emotional freedom techniques. This is affectionately known as tapping. Definitely employ these types of techniques, and it's kind of like all of these different things are on the outside of the circle, kind of our path into the balanced awareness and to center. Neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, this has been around for a very, very long time, and it is very, very useful to allow you to experience and move things around in your mind. When you're a perfect example of NLP would be something like imagine those thoughts that are going across the screen of your mind. What was the direction of those thoughts? Was it moving left to right in the screen? Was it moving up and down? Was it coming from behind you, moving forward? Was it coming from the top, moving down? Paying attention to these types of things reveals very, very useful below the surface information. Hemisync is hemisphere synchronization. This is a method taught by Robert Monroe of the Monroe Institute. Absolutely powerful stuff. It employs actually NLP techniques. I definitely utilize lots of that. Channeling, I think effectively, we're all channelers. Love to go into that, but that's a part of the practice. That's a part of the method. Shamanic ceremony, that could range from anything to shamanic journeying to different ceremonies, release ceremonies, fire ceremonies, extractions, etc., etc. While I am not a shaman, I am a shamanist. I am a practitioner of the shaman method, but I have no specific study. I prefer the Dogon tribe in West Mali, but we can go into that another time. I have effective certifications in matrix energetics. This is Dr. Bartlett. This is basically quantum mechanics that is applied to consciousness. You may have heard of quantum electronics or quantum magnetism. Well, there's different types of modes of these quantum science, the science of the very small. Well, you can actually apply quantum mechanics to consciousness, and I utilize those techniques of Dr. Richard Bartlett. Quantum entrainment, that's Dr. Kinslow, another chiropractor, a wonderful method to put your awareness on you. Very, very simple techniques now. Quantum entrainment for me is like the modern way of the Silva method for hypnosis, etc. Again, in the future, we can talk about these types of things. At the 9 o'clock position is Psyche. This was found by Rob Williams. And this is actually a very fascinating technique where we use kinesiology, which is muscle testing. And you can actually interact with your subconscious, and you can actually install your own programs. Absolutely fascinating to be able to, hey, wait a minute, we generally just have an automatic reaction to things of, oh man, that really pisses me off. Well, here's how you can practice. Here's how you can practice more, Ken Barlow, is that, oh, that frustrates me. Well, okay, now notice, be aware of that frustration. Now ask the question, the critical question, why am I frustrating? Why am I frustrated by this? If you dig, you're going to find that it's likely a belief that's been installed in you, a subconscious belief. And all you have to do is uninstall that program. Think of your subconscious as a software operating system, right? It's the operating system. You know, every once in a while we got to upgrade the operating system. Well, your subconscious was programmed when you were a small child. Generally speaking, depending on who you read and believe is true, who you discern is real for you, is anywhere between 8 and 12 years old. And all these big people, mom, dad, teacher, police officer, culture, religious leader, they tell you, this is what you should do, this is what you should be. These are the installed programs. Well, we run them at 30 years old, at 22 years old, at 50 years old sometimes. And we're rerunning these programs. Psyche is awesome at reinstalling your own program. It takes maybe 10 minutes. And if you don't like it, install a new one. Very, very powerful. Guided imagery. Well, we pretty much already done that with the lemon. That's hypnosis. Again, Silva method is a wonderful method. And hypnosis and NLP are kind of fuzzy. They're fuzzy between the two. Hypnosis is kind of going under, and by the power of suggestion. NLP kind of once you're in, then you start working on things. So kind of one kind of begats the other and kind of is meshed in with it. And then finally, inquiry. Inquiry is a really, really cool thing of asking questions and spinning things. This is effectively known as The Work by Byron Katie. I want to give all these folks the kudos that they deserve because I'm not doing anything new here, folks. I am quantum shamanist, and what that means effectively is this: I was once a scientist, and I dug deep, and I was a believer of science until I started seeing things that didn't make sense. I started seeing that when science discovered or mapped the Human Genome Project, where they mapped our DNA, okay, in 2000, this is the Human Genome Project. And they come out the next couple of days and say, we've mapped the human genome, we have sequenced the human DNA. Oh, by the way, 97+% is junk. People believe this stuff, folks. They really believe it. Oh, wait, there's more. Okay, so then we go out into space, and science has this great method, and it's a very useful tool, so don't get me wrong, it's like a really cool tool in the toolbox, but science is not the arbiter of truth like it's teaching you to believe. Okay, they went into space and they say, okay, we can find, how fast the hydrogen atom can spin, and the diameter of the electron orbit around the nucleus of the hydrogen atom of a star 12 light years away. And then they say out loud, well, the majority of space, don't believe me, go find this out. It's here, it's true, it's real. Well, whatever that is. They say most of the matter in space, like 98, 99% of all matter in space, are you ready for it? Dark matter. So wait a minute. So they're telling us that the Big Bang and all this cool, fancy toys and neat things that they can do with science, that less than 2% of the universe that we can measure, and that's the key word, that we can measure. Well, it's time to throw superstition away. Let's look at this stuff. Excuse me, don't throw it away. Okay, that's kind of what it's been done. I'm saying there are things that move. There is energies. There are reasons why geese can navigate. There is a reason why a monarch butterfly has its thousands of miles of migration, but a monarch butterfly doesn't live the entire journey. It flies a part or a leg of the journey, procreates along the way, and the offspring finish the trip. Think about it. Information is being transferred without the use of schools. It's you. It's in your DNA. That 97% of DNA that they're telling us is junk, it's not. It's you. And my quantum part of Quantum Shamanist is the science. I dug deep. I went further and further and further. And I dug into the quantum world. And big fan of Niels Bohr and all of the Schrodinger and all of the players, Planck, all of them. And they discovered something. They discovered something tremendous. I would argue in the early 1920s era, that science discovered that God exists. Yes, I said that right. Science, quantum mechanics has proven that God exists. And you know who it is? It's you. Still don't believe me? Here's the technical jargon for the folks that don't, the scientific folks that think I'm nuts. Human consciousness is what collapses the wave function. Translation to normal speak? The very act of observing an experiment impacts the results of the experiment. That's correct. When you are looking for something, that is what you will find. Was that Caesar? Seek and you shall find. So anyways, that's the quantum part. So I dug and I was like, what is it? Science has got to have this. Find it. And I went deep into the quantum world and I discovered, wait a minute. Science is now proving all these things that the shamans have been saying for 40,000 years. This is the torus. It's all folding on itself. Advanced science is proving what the shamans have been saying and practicing for thousands and thousands of years. This is why I came up with I coined the term quantum shamanist. It's an advanced ancient method. And I researched these methods, and there's others. We love the number 13. It's a Fibonacci sequence. Notice the 12 circles on the outside and the big circle on the inside. The balanced awareness. So, in closing, for what I have to say, I think we've got a couple of questions that we can probably follow up on the Facebook page another time. But we wanted to kind of do an intro to test our technology, etc. But look at the center of that circle. Look at that balanced awareness. Okay, see the words. Now, just for a quantum second, feel what balanced awareness is. Feel it. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale slowly. Know, absolutely know, that there is something different. And the door to the universe, my dear friends, it does not open outwards. You can push on the door all day long. The door to the world, to the universe, to your abilities, to your feeling your energy, to believing that you can do it, to learning these different things. The door opens inwards. Most of you are already pointing at the answer when we started, and that's where I'd like to close this. It's you. The door opens in. What you're looking for, you already have. So there's really nothing to learn. There's nothing to be taught. David Icke said it best, I think. What we're now to do is to forget what we've been taught, and feel what we've always known. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for dealing with my insatiable anal retentiveness to remain as anonymous as possible. I know it's very, very difficult not to show your face on Facebook. But in time, perhaps. But it doesn't matter what my face looks like. All that matters is what your face looks like. And put your face inward. And know that you're the one you've been waiting for. It's you. Thanks again. Gratitude.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Roy B. That was fantastic. I have heard Roy B. speak many, many times, and every time I hear you speak, I learn something new, and it just it almost takes your breath away. So that was amazing. I think we shared a lot of content tonight, learned some things about ourselves, even, and tasted a lemon. So thanks everyone for bearing with us through the technical difficulties. Hopefully this will be taken care of next time, but even if it's not, I think it was well worth it. So thanks again. It looks like everybody sort of hung in there with us, and we have good numbers on here tonight. And
we recorded for future?
Yeah, we definitely will be sending out replay. It will be available on YouTube. This is a Google Hangout. It's recorded via Google Hangout technology, and we do have a couple of people we can have made some comments here. There you go.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ken. Thank you very much.
That's genius. Yeah.
To know is to forget. Ha ha ha. That's beautiful. You know, there's a whole science called epistemology. Epistemology. You find it's an auto answer for you, and I encourage you to look into that, Ken. And basically, it's the science of knowing. It's how do you know what you know? And quite frankly, here it is. The best that we can possibly know is a partial truth. We can't know everything. We cannot absolutely. The monstrousness of universe is so vast. The human capacity can't wrap its brain around it. So the idea is just trust that everything that you feel and know is true is true. It's just not the whole truth. It's a partial truth. And trust. And trust. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Juniper, for your comments. The lemon, it worked. Oh, your kids could taste it. Fantastic. Children are wonderful. They haven't forgotten yet. They haven't been indoctrinated. Juniper, please, please consider the possibility of enabling your children to touch the earth and reconnect with the mother. That is what all of the ancient and the existing shamans, the remaining shamans, are teaching. I've been to the jungle with the Kogi tribe in South America. I've been to their ceremonies. I've been to the desert. I've been to all these different places and seen and experienced these different things. What they're basically saying is we need to reconnect. Allow your children the opportunity to reconnect with it. Yes, absolutely. The children are the new teachers. Maybe we can touch on that at another time too. But anyways, thank you very much. Thanks again. I really appreciate this.
Absolutely.
This is a great experience.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Awesome. All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it. That's a little over an hour here, and I will let you guys get back to your day. So thanks a lot for joining us, and stay tuned for the next one. Keep following us on Facebook, and make sure you stay tuned. We'll send out some invites for the next one of these that we do. All right. Have a great one.